The old man rose with the sun, just as he had for the past 40 years. His name was Dev, and his small, weathered boat rocked gently at the edge of the sea. The sky was still smeared with darkness, but he knew the tide was turning, time to fish. "Why do you even do this every single day, old man?" a young voice called from the pier. It was Raju, a spirited 20-year-old who had recently taken an interest in fishing. "You're always the first to leave, even when the sea looks angry. Don't you ever feel tired? Don't you ever lose motivation?" Dev smiled, a calm and knowing smile that only life can teach. "Motivation," he repeated, casting a net into the sea without looking. "That comes and goes. But discipline keeps you afloat even when the winds are against you." Raju didn't understand it then, but he would soon. The villagers admired Dev, not because he was the strongest or fastest, but because he was constant. Rain or shine, storm or calm, he would fish. Not for the money, his home was humble, his meals simple. He did it because it was his way of life, and he honored it. Raju had big dreams. He wanted to be successful, to earn quick money, to make a name for himself. So he shadowed Dev, thinking he could learn a few tricks and maybe build a fortune. But every morning when Dev knocked at 4 a.m., Raju groaned, made excuses, and promised he'd join tomorrow. Some days he did, some days he didn't. One evening, as they sat on the shore watching the sunset paint the sea orange, Raju sighed. "I don't think I'm cut out for this. I try, I really do. But some mornings, I just can't get out of bed. I feel no spark. No motivation." Dev looked at him kindly. "Let me tell you something, Raju. When my wife passed away, I couldn't eat for days. I was shattered. But I still went fishing. Not because I felt like it, but because I had to. When my son left for the city and never returned, I kept fishing. When my knees ached and my back screamed, I kept going." "But why?" Raju asked, frustrated. "Why force yourself when you don't feel it?" "Because feelings lie," Dev said softly. "But discipline tells the truth. Motivation whispers, maybe tomorrow. Discipline says, do it now." Raju fell silent. He realized Dev wasn't strong because he was never broken, he was strong because he kept going despite being broken. The sea had taught him patience, humility, and the power of showing up, day after day. Weeks passed. One morning, before the sun rose, Dev didn't show up. Word spread quickly that he had fallen ill. His boat remained still, tied to the dock, as if the sea itself was holding its breath. For the first time, Raju rose before dawn, packed his net, and set out alone. The sea was rough, and he wasn't ready. But he remembered Dev's words. "Not because I felt like it, but because I had to." Raju struggled at first. His nets tore. His hands bled. Some days, he caught nothing. But he didn't stop. He kept going. Not out of motivation, but out of commitment. Slowly, his skills grew. He no longer needed a reason to rise early. He just did. Months later, Dev returned to the dock, thinner but smiling. He saw Raju out on the sea, handling the boat with confidence and grace. "He's learned," Dev whispered to himself. "Not how to fish, but how to live." In time, Raju became the one others looked up to, not because he was perfect, but because he was persistent. He carried Dev's legacy not in words, but in action. Every morning, without fail, he went to sea. Because in the end, it's not the fire of motivation that keeps the world moving. It's the quiet, steady rhythm of discipline. Discipline is what gets you through the days when motivation disappears. And in those quiet moments, when no one is watching, that discipline carves your destiny.